This is a story that happened to me not too long ago. It was Halloween. There was a big 2-story house in our town which was rumored to be haunted. Out of curiosity, one of my best friends, Carlos, and I decided it would be a good idea to test out this rumor. So we went to that house for trick or treat. It was about 11:45 p.m., and it took us a while to get to the house as it was a bit far away from the other houses. When we arrived at the house, we rang the doorbell. A man who looked as if he was in his mid-30s suddenly came out. He opened the door almost right away. He had a cigarette in his hand. I could see that he was dressed in a hoodie and ripped jeans, and he looked kind of tired. My friend mentioned the rumor about his house being haunted. We laughed out loud, but he didn't reply to anything we said. He just stared at us, and then he said, "You kids are almost a little late for Halloween. It's going to end in 2 minutes." Well, he was right. It was almost 12 a.m. He then told us the candy was in his room and offered for us to come in. We sat on the living room couch waiting for the man who had gone upstairs. However, when he came back, he insisted on us going upstairs because he had Reese's chocolate, which was my favorite at the time. So, being a pretty mindless teenager, we took him up on the offer. We went upstairs following behind him and went into one of the dimly lit rooms. Right at that instant, I could see that there were a lot of different kinds of knives in the room. It looked as if the man were collecting knives. We thought it was a pretty cool hobby. The man approached us and gave us each 2 pieces of chocolate. Although he still didn't say anything, we thanked him and turned around to go downstairs. All of a sudden, Carlos screamed in pain and fell down the stairs. I turned around and saw the man was holding what appeared to be a red knife, which was probably one from his collection. With mixed emotions, my adrenaline immediately kicked in. I tried to punch the man in the face, but he turned back and then stabbed my leg. I barely managed to hold back the pain and literally knocked him out with 5 punches. The man collapsed. I took the knife out of my leg and started limping, holding Carlos in one arm. We finally escaped from that house. I could see that there was blood all over Carlos's back. With shaking hands, I called the police. As soon as they arrived, they arrested the man after he had regained consciousness. The ambulance took me and Carlos to the hospital. I wasn't hurt too bad, but Carlos was apparently stabbed twice in the back and bled out a lot. He was in the hospital for 2 weeks to recover. Sometime after I got out of the hospital, the police officer reported to my parents that the man had apparently been a registered sex offender and had raped a few children before. Luckily, he was sent to jail right after they arrested him. After all of that, I never went inside a stranger's house again. And to this day, I'm still afraid of what would have happened if I wasn't able to hold back the pain of being stabbed and had failed to escape from that man.